Hello, 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 hello. This is Dirty Trucking, Dirty Trucking. All this reminiscing about what happened to me at Chrysler. Bringing back a lot of memories. Because I ain't forgotten nothing. But, I mean, how do you tell everybody but the person involved? That's what I didn't understand. What happened to me at Chrysler. Everybody else seemed to know but me until it was time to put me off my job. And still I didn't even know. I didn't know until after I got put off. And still didn't know until I got a phone call after I was put off. From my so-called friend, Mario, setting me up with labor relations to make it appear that he was being harassed. But I found out years later that he was told to place that phone call. Why would an employer do that? Why would an employer tell an employee to call another employee and then hand them the phone? That don't sound strange? Now, let me tell you, this video is about how many people knew before I did. Now, I had a relative work there, a cousin. My sister knew. The union contacted my sister before they told me what the hell Mario was doing. My cousin knew. Come over there to the line when I was on the line, snatch my keys, ask me how I would act. Talking strange. Still, I ain't got this. This is prior to me even getting off. I don't even know if I had been put off the first time and got back when she did that. But the whole ordeal was strange. But I'm going to tell you how somebody in law enforcement knew about this. Give you a little history of how I got to Chrysler. Prior to me getting to Chrysler, I used to drive the bus for Smart. I mentioned that in the previous video. Had a house on Beaconsfield. Nice, lovely neighborhood. 5900 block of Beaconsfield. You already seen the address because I posted with the court cases. So, oops, putting the address out. But, nice neighborhood. And I showed you the picture of my Dodge Ram truck in what would have been in front of my house if you could see the house. If that picture hadn't come up, disappeared. But across the street, directly across the street, prior to me getting at Chrysler, I was working for Smart. My neighbor directly across the street is Wayne County Sheriff. She was a Wayne County Sheriff. She was Wayne County Sheriff deputy. Her daughter, while I was still at Smart, her daughter had got in at Chrysler. I remember her telling me that. Her daughter worked at the plant. I remember her telling me that. Now, this prior to me even getting at Chrysler. Then Chrysler was doing some type of hiring thing. I remember I went through the process. Something about, they said if, I believe this was in 99 or something. Beginning part of 99, somewhere around in there. I went through the little hiring process. I didn't get hired. You know, the process they take you through as a potential. And I remember sitting in that classroom, they were saying, if we hadn't heard, if anybody of us that was in that classroom hadn't heard from them by March, I think it was March, they had got everybody they needed. So that time frame came and went, so I assumed they had got everybody they needed. I just continue to work at Smart. Then I believe it was a page back. I had a page. I had a pager when I was at Smart. I believe I got a page. And Smart had which is obsolete now. We had a pay telephone in the terminal. So I went and called a number. And they said it was Chrysler. I was being hired, and if I said no, they wouldn't ask me anymore. So I didn't say no. I went in there and asked some coworkers, what should I do? This is Chrysler. They told me go and get on out of there. And so that's how I ended up at Chrysler. But back to my neighbor. My neighbor, this is how someone with law enforcement knew what was going on with me. I didn't even know. By her daughter. Her daughter worked at Warren Truck Plant. This is a Wayne County Sheriff. I remember when I got put off my job, her daughter came across the street and stood on my porch and told me they weren't supposed to put me off my job. And I told her, well, they did. I don't even know what's going on. She said they weren't supposed to do that. They weren't supposed to put me off my job. That's what she said. Now, she knows what's going on, but ain't telling me. That's all she told me. This is a Wayne County Sheriff. Daughter that worked at Warren Truck Plant. I kid you not. She worked at Warren Truck Plant. Her mother is Wayne County Sheriff, who was my neighbor. And that's what her daughter told me. And I remember when I filed my court case, I went over there to ask would her daughter give, I think, a statement or be a witness or somebody on my side in my case. Her mother told me they didn't want to get involved. Didn't want to get involved. Now, this was law enforcement. This was somebody in law enforcement that had inside information through her daughter of what had happened to me and what they did. But neither one of them told me. All her daughter said was they weren't supposed to put me off my job. I knew damn well they weren't supposed to put me off my job because I hadn't done anything. But yet, if they weren't supposed to put me off my job, then how the hell did they put me off my job? I never got that out. Never got that out of them. You walking around here with this information. You knew what the hell happened to me. You stood on my porch and all you told me was they weren't supposed to put me off my job. This is the daughter of a Wayne County Sheriff that worked at Warren Truck Plant. Knew everything. Didn't tell me nothing but that. I couldn't get no participation with my court case, not a statement, nothing. They didn't want to get involved. Didn't want to get involved. But you stand on my porch and tell me that I wasn't supposed to be put off my job. How the hell did I get put off my job? So, this story gets so deep. It's so much involved here. So much to tell here. I mean, the revelation and the shocking news of who knew of this and stood by and didn't do anything. This is my neighbor across the street from my house who was a Wayne County Sheriff. This woman knew me. I remember specifically one time. Now, I'm off work. I'm sitting at home on my porch. Don't know what the hell going on. I'm just sitting there pretty much looking stupid because I'm off my job. I had no idea. I mean, what the fuck? My sister shows up. Stands on the porch. I remember her saying something in the words along the lines of, well, if somebody took my money, I'll kick their ass. I remember her saying that. What that was about, I don't know. But now I'm off work. I'm sitting on my porch. I ain't got nothing to do because I'm off work due to the employer. But my neighbor was across the street. Her voice is loud. She's on the porch, on the phone. And evidently, whoever she was talking to was asking what I was doing right now. And I hear her say, she's just sitting there on the porch. And that's a shame. That's all. And then that's what I heard her say. She just sitting there on the porch. And that's a shame. That's a shame. Her daughter knew what happened to me. My sister didn't even work at the plant. My sister worked for the casino. MGM. That's what she worked for when I got in Chrysler. At the same time, because my sister didn't believe I got in Chrysler, I called her and told her I just got in Chrysler. You lying? No, I ain't. I got in Chrysler. Then she hit me with the news. I just got in at MGM. She didn't work on the floor. She worked up in the office. Financial analyst. MGM. Back when it was over there at the old police headquarters. That's what she worked at. She got in there. I got in at Chrysler. We both around the same time. Good news. Then this shit happened to me at Chrysler. And the union is calling my sister, informing my cousin. Both of them showed up at my house. I don't know what the fuck going on here. All I know, my employer is telling me I'm supposed to have done something, and I'm trying to find out what the fuck did I do? I ain't done nothing to nobody. Nobody. I wasn't crazy. I didn't do anything to anybody. They made this shit up, and I want to know what the fuck was going on in that plant that you would make up a lie like this. Change documents in my medical file. Write statements and send it over to the court for my case. To make it seem like I was crazy when I wasn't. What the fuck was going on there? Why did Warren Truck Plant put me off my motherfucking job? And don't come at me about that goddamn crazy shit. I was acting out of the ordinary, or I wasn't fucking talking. You got to come better than that. Because I'm not done with this. That shit y'all did to me, I lost everything. I had to sell my house. Me and my son ended up homeless several times over because of that. Turned my life upside fucking down. And our daughter comes over there. They weren't supposed to put you off your job. Well, if she knew that, then they knew that. So why did they? I hope, I pray that every last one of them bastards involved in this is held accountable for it. I don't give a damn how old you get, how fucking long it take. I want you to suffer like you made me suffer. I want what happened to me to happen to you. That's what I want. I want my justice. This Dirty Truck and peace out.